My parents kicked me out at 16. Now they're begging me to save their golden child son. Hey Reddit, when your estranged parents show up at your workplace after 10 years of silence, demanding you save the brother they chose over you, that's when life gets interesting. I'm Graham, 26M, emergency room physician at Presbyterian Medical Center. My parents Cassidy, 52F, and Hunter, 54M, roads threw me out when I was 16 because I had attitude problems and wouldn't follow their rigid expectations. Translation: I question why my younger brother Dylan got a car for his 16th birthday while I worked at McDonald's to buy school supplies. The background's pretty standard abandonment stuff. I was never the kid they wanted. Dylan was their golden child, good at sports, popular, never questioned authority. I was the one who asked uncomfortable questions like, why does Dylan get to skip chores? Or, why don't I get college savings when he does? They called it disrespect. I called it fairness. The breaking point came junior year when I refused to quit the debate team to work more hours at my after-school job. They said I was selfish and ungrateful for not prioritizing family finances. When I pointed out Dylan's baseball equipment cost more than my entire wardrobe, Dad exploded. If you hate living here so much, there's the door. So I took it. Lived in my beat-up Honda Civic for 3 weeks until my manager let me crash in the McDonald's break room. Worked 3 jobs: McDonald's, lawn care, and tutoring while finishing high school. Got a full academic scholarship to State University for pre-med. Took out loans for everything they didn't cover. Never asked them for a penny. They told the extended family I was dead to them for choosing pride over family. Cut all contact. Blocked my number. When I graduated medical school, I sent an invitation. Got it back marked "Return to Sender." I became an ER doc because I wanted to help people who had nowhere else to turn. Ironic, right? Fast forward to last Tuesday. I'm finishing a 16-hour shift when security calls 2 people claiming to be my parents are demanding to see me. I figured it was some confused family looking for a different doctor. Walked into the lobby and there they are, Cassidy and Hunter Rhodes, 10 years older, looking smaller somehow. Dad's got gray hair now. Mom's put on weight. They look desperate. Graham, honey, we need to talk. Mom's voice is shaking. I haven't heard that voice in a decade. My chest tightens, but I keep my expression neutral. I'm sorry, do we know each other? Dad steps forward. Son, please, it's about Dylan, he's sick. That's when it hits me. They're not here to apologize or reconnect, they need something. Dylan has a rare form of leukemia, Mom continues. We researched the best specialists in the region. Your name came up. You're one of the few doctors who has experience with this specific type. They want me to save the golden child, the one they chose over me, the one who got everything while I got nothing. We know we haven't talked in a while, Dad says, like it's been a busy few months instead of a decade of complete silence. But we're family. Family helps family. I look at these 2 people who told their own son he was dead to them, who let me be homeless at 16 rather than apologize for their favoritism, who never once reached out when I was struggling through medical school, working 80-hour weeks to pay for an education that should have been a graduation gift. I'll need to see his medical records, I hear myself saying. Send them through proper channels, make an appointment through oncology. Mom's face lights up with relief. Thank you, honey, we knew you'd. This is professional courtesy, I cut her off. Nothing more. They leave their contact information with my nurse. As they walk away, I hear Dad whisper to Mom, I told you he'd come around. He's a good kid. Good kid. After 10 years of silence, I'm suddenly a good kid again because they need me. Here's the thing, Reddit. I took an oath to do no harm. That includes not letting personal feelings interfere with medical care. But I also didn't spend a decade building a life from nothing just to let the people who destroyed me walk back in like nothing happened. Dylan's medical records arrived this morning. His case is serious but treatable. I could help him. The question is, do I owe anything to the family who threw me away? Edit. Holy crap, this blew up. Thanks for all the support. A few people asking. Yes, Dylan and I were close as kids before everything went to hell. He was 12 when they kicked me out. Not his fault our parents are messed up. Edit 2. For those saying I should refuse, I can't. Medical ethics don't work that way. If I can help a patient, I help them. But that doesn't mean I have to forgive anyone. Update on the family drama situation. Buckle up, Reddit, because this gets worse before it gets better. So after my post blew up, seriously, thank you for all the messages. I followed protocol. Made an appointment through oncology, reviewed Dylan's case and scheduled a consultation. Professional, clean, by the book. Dylan comes in with both parents Tuesday morning. I haven't seen my brother in 10 years. He's 22 now, tall like dad but with mom's eyes. Thin from the chemo but alert. When he sees me, he just stops. Holy shit, Graham. His voice cracks a little. Language, Dylan. Mom automatically corrects like we're still kids. The consultation goes smoothly. His oncologist, Dr. Peterson, did good work on the initial treatment plan. I recommend some adjustments to the chemotherapy protocol based on recent studies. Nothing groundbreaking, just fine-tuning. Dylan asks intelligent questions. He's clearly been researching his condition. After I finish my recommendations, Mom starts crying. Thank you, honey. We're so proud of you. Look what you've accomplished. Proud. After 10 years of acting like I don't exist. We want to rebuild our relationship, Dad adds. We know we made mistakes when you were younger. Mistakes. That's what they're calling abandoning their teenage son. We want you to know we forgive you for being such a difficult teenager, Mom continues. You're our son. We love you. They forgive me for being difficult while asking me to save the brother they chose over me. I keep my voice clinical. This is a medical consultation, that's all. They exchange glances. Of course, honey, but maybe after Dylan's better, we can work on being a family again. I tell them I'll coordinate with Dr. Peterson on the treatment adjustments and schedule follow-ups as needed. Professional boundaries, keep it clean. After they leave, Dylan texts me, "Can we talk, just us?" We meet at a coffee shop near the hospital that night. Dylan looks exhausted but determined. I need to say something, he starts. I'm sorry. I wasn't expecting that. For what? For not standing up for you. For being their golden child while they treated you like garbage. I was 12, but that's not an excuse. I knew what they were doing was wrong. He tells me things I never knew, how they talked about me after I left, called me ungrateful and selfish, told family I was too proud to apologize and come home. Meanwhile, they kept paying for Dylan's college, his car, his apartment. I never felt like I deserved any of it, he says. Everything I got should have been yours too. I tried to bring you up a few times over the years, but they'd shut down the conversation, said you made your choice. You were a kid, Dylan. It wasn't your job to fix our parents. Maybe not, but I could have tried harder to find you. I could have reached out when I turned 18. I didn't because I was ashamed. We talk for 2 hours. He tells me about college, his girlfriend, his plans before the cancer diagnosis. I tell him about medical school, the residency from hell, how I built a life from nothing. It's the first honest conversation I've had with family in a decade. Are you going to help with my treatment? He asks finally. I already am. Dr. Peterson is implementing my recommendations. That's not what I mean. I know what he means. He wants to know if I'm going to let personal feelings affect his care. You're my patient now. That means you get the best care I can provide, regardless of family history. Dylan's eyes fill up. Thank you. Don't thank me for doing my job. I'm not thanking you for being a good doctor. I'm thanking you for being a better man than our parents raised either of us to be. I drive home thinking about that conversation. My roommate from medical school, Noah, is visiting for the week. He knew my family history. How was the reunion? He asks over beers. Complicated. Your parents apologize. They said they forgive me for being a difficult teenager. Noah nearly spits out his beer. They forgive you. That's what I said. Man, some people are just. He shakes his head. You know this isn't about Dylan, right? They're using his illness to manipulate you back into their lives. That's what I'm afraid of. But Dylan's genuine remorse felt real. The question is, can I help him without letting our parents think this means everything is forgiven? The treatment plan starts Monday. I'm consulting on the case, not primary oncologist, but I'll be monitoring his progress closely. Professional interest only. That's what I keep telling myself. Edit, thanks for all the support. Some of you asking about the specific type of leukemia. It's acute lymphocytic leukemia with some genetic markers that make it tricky to treat. Totally manageable with the right protocol. Edit 2. Yes, I'm keeping detailed documentation of everything. Medical Ethics Board takes this stuff seriously when there are family relationships involved. Update 2. Remember how I thought my parents couldn't get any worse? I was wrong. Dylan started the adjusted treatment protocol last Monday. Initial response is good. His white cell counts are improving, side effects manageable. From a medical standpoint, we're on track. From a family drama standpoint, holy hell. It started Wednesday when my department chief, Dr. Reeves, called me into her office. Graham, I need to discuss the Reeve case with you. Dylan's last name is Reeve, not Rhodes. Apparently, my parents changed it back to Mom's maiden name after some financial issues years ago. News to me. The hospital administrator, Amelia Brooks, wants to discuss your involvement in this case. There are some concerns about the family relationship. Turns out someone complained to administration that I have a conflict of interest treating my own brother. The complaint came from concerned family members who felt the situation was inappropriate. Except here's the kicker: I never told anyone at the hospital we're related. The only people who knew were my parents and Dylan. Dr. Reeves shows me the complaint letter. It's signed by Cassidy and Hunter Reeve. Concerned parents worried about their son receiving emotionally compromised care from an estranged family member. They complained about me while asking me to save their son, to create pressure for the hospital to either take me off the case or force me into more involvement. Dr. Lott, I need to know if you can maintain professional objectivity. Absolutely. I can provide documentation of all my recommendations and their medical justification. That's not what I'm worried about. Administration is concerned about liability if the outcome isn't optimal. Family relationships complicate malpractice situations. She's right. If something goes wrong, they could claim I provided substandard care due to personal animosity. Or if Dylan recovers, they could claim credit for forcing me to help. I tell Dr. Reeves I'll prepare a full report on my involvement and recommendations for transitioning primary consultation to another specialist if needed. That afternoon, Dylan texts, "Can you meet?" Emergency. I find him in the hospital cafeteria looking panicked. "They're using you," he says without preamble. "What do you mean?" "Mom and Dad, they've been telling everyone you're my primary doctor. They filed paperwork with insurance claiming you're the lead specialist on my case. They're using your reputation to get better coverage and faster approvals." My stomach drops. "Dylan, I'm consulting on your case." "Dr. Peterson is your primary oncologist." "I know that, you know that. But Mom's been telling everyone at her work that her son is being treated by her other son, the famous cancer specialist." "I'm not a cancer specialist. I'm an ER doctor with some training in hematology. Try telling them that." He shows me printouts of Facebook posts. Mom sharing articles about my medical school achievements, posts about family healing through crisis, sympathy gathering updates about Dylan's brave battle and his dedicated brother providing treatment. "She's been posting this stuff for weeks," Dylan continues. "The whole extended family thinks you're our primary doctor and that we're all reconciled. Aunt Corinne called yesterday asking when you're coming to Sunday dinner." They've been using my reputation and credentials while simultaneously filing complaints about my involvement, claiming me as family when it benefits them, throwing me under the bus when it creates leverage. "There's more," Dylan says. "They're telling people I'm at Presbyterian because you work there, that you pulled strings to get me in." That's a lie. Dylan was admitted through normal channels before they ever contacted me. But if the hospital thinks I influenced his admission, it creates even more ethics complications. I spend the rest of the day documenting everything. Treatment notes, timeline of involvement, copies of the complaint letter. I call Dylan's original oncologist at his previous hospital to confirm the transfer was patient-initiated, not physician-recommended. That evening, Mom calls me for the first time since that lobby conversation. "Graham, honey, we need to talk about this hospital situation. You filed a complaint against me while asking me to treat Dylan. We don't need to talk about anything. We're just protecting everyone. The hospital needed to know about our family situation for legal purposes. You told them I was emotionally compromised. We said you might be. We want what's best for Dylan. What's best for Dylan is consistent medical care without family drama. Don't be dramatic, Graham. We're trying to rebuild our relationship here. That's when I lose it. Not professionally, I keep my voice level, but internally something snaps. No, Cassidy, you're trying to use me. You've been telling everyone I'm Dylan's primary doctor while filing complaints about my competency. You can't have it both ways. We never said you were incompetent. You said I was emotionally compromised. In medical terms, that's the same thing. Silence on her end. Here's what's going to happen, I continue. I'm removing myself from Dylan's case. Dr. Peterson is fully capable of managing his care. You can find another hematology consultant if you want a second opinion. You can't abandon your brother. I'm not abandoning anyone. I'm maintaining professional boundaries that you've made impossible. If Dylan gets worse because you're being petty, Dylan's prognosis is excellent with or without my involvement. This conversation is over. I hang up and immediately call Dr. Peterson. We spend an hour going over Dylan's case. His response to treatment is ahead of schedule. The kid's going to be fine. Edit, for those asking, yes, I saved screenshots of all the Facebook posts before Mom made her profile private. CYA in the medical field is everything. Edit 2. Dylan's been texting nonstop apologizing. Poor kid is stuck in the middle of this. I told him his treatment comes first. Family drama comes last. Final update time for the conclusion to this medical family drama saga. TLDR. Sometimes being the better person means protecting your boundaries, not forgiving people who don't deserve it. Dylan's in complete remission. His 3-month follow-up shows no cancer cells, normal blood counts, full energy back. Dr. Peterson did an outstanding job with the treatment. The kid's going to be fine. As for my parents, well, that's where this gets interesting. After I removed myself from Dylan's case, they went into full panic mode. Dad showed up at the hospital demanding to speak with my supervisor about my unprofessional behavior. Security escorted him out when he started yelling in the lobby about family loyalty and abandonment. Mom tried a different approach. She contacted my medical school alumni association, claiming I was having a breakdown and needed intervention. That backfired spectacularly when they called my department chief to check on my welfare. Dr. Reeves was not amused by the implication that I was mentally unstable. The hospital conducted a full ethics review of my involvement in Dylan's case. Conclusion: my consultation was appropriate, my recommendations were sound, and my decision to step back was professionally mature. The administration now has a policy requiring disclosure of family relationships before any patient consultations, which honestly should have existed already. But here's the part that actually matters. Dylan and I stayed in touch throughout his treatment. He kept me updated on his progress, asked questions about side effects, sent me his lab results. Not because I was his doctor, but because I was his brother. 2 weeks ago, he finished his final chemo session. I met him for dinner afterwards to celebrate. He looks good, healthy color, weight back up, hair growing in. More importantly, he looks happy. I need to tell you something, he says over dessert. I'm not going back home after this. What do you mean? I mean I'm done living in the family house, being the golden child, pretending mom and dad are normal parents. I'm getting an apartment with my girlfriend. This is the first time he's mentioned having a girlfriend. Turns out her name is Emily. She's a nursing student and she's been supporting him through treatment. She also thinks our parents are crazy, which gives her excellent judgment in my book. Emily helped me see things clearly, Dylan continues. The way they treated you wasn't normal. The way they're acting now isn't normal. I can't keep being part of their dysfunction just because I'm sick. He tells me mom and dad are furious about his decision to move out. They're calling it abandoning family during a crisis and blaming me for poisoning him against them. Apparently, I'm now responsible for Dylan developing a backbone. They keep saying you've changed me, he laughs. They're right. Watching you handle this whole situation showed me what having boundaries looks like. That conversation meant more to me than any apology could have. The parents made one final attempt at manipulation last month. They invited me to family dinner to celebrate Dylan's recovery. I declined. They responded by sending a group text to extended family claiming I was too bitter to celebrate my own brother's healing. Aunt Karen called me directly after that. Your mother says you won't come to Dylan's celebration dinner. That's right. She says you're still angry about teenage drama. I'm not angry, Karen. I just don't have relationships with people who treat me poorly. But they're your parents. Being related to someone doesn't give them permission to abuse you. Long pause. You know, I always wondered what really happened when you left home. Ask Dylan. He'll tell you the truth. She did ask Dylan. Turns out, so did several other family members after they saw the pattern of my parents' behavior during his illness. The family gossip network that my parents used against me for years started working against them instead. My current situation. I love my job, I'm good at what I do, and I'm in therapy working through some childhood abandonment issues. Turns out being kicked out at 16 leaves some psychological scars, who knew? But I'm functional, happy, and building healthy relationships with people who actually care about me. Dylan and I meet for lunch every few weeks. We're building a real relationship as adults, separate from our parents' dysfunction. Emily seems great, she definitely keeps him grounded. They're talking about getting engaged after he's been cancer-free for a year. As for my parents, they still send cards on birthdays and holidays, always signed love, mom and dad, like nothing happened. I don't respond. They're not evil people, just deeply selfish ones who can't understand that actions have permanent consequences. The final interaction happened 2 weeks ago. I ran into Dad at the grocery store. He approached me cautiously. Graham, how are you, son? I'm well, Hunter. You? Using his first name instead of Dad made him flinch. We miss you, Mom especially. She talks about you all the time. She talks about the idea of me, the son who does what she wants without question. That person never existed. We just want our family back together. Your family is together. Dylan's healthy, you're both fine. I'm just not part of your version of family. But we love you. That stopped me. Because I think in their broken way they do love me. They just love their control and their image and their comfort more. I know you do, I said, but love isn't enough when it comes with conditions I can't meet. He looked confused, like I was speaking a foreign language. Take care of yourself, Hunter. I finished my shopping and went home. No anger, no drama, just done. Some people asked in my previous posts if I'll ever forgive them. Here's what I've learned. Forgiveness isn't something you owe people, even family, especially family. My parents created this situation through years of choices. They prioritized their control over their son's well-being, then acted shocked when I stopped being controllable. I don't hate them. I don't think about them much at all anymore. I've built a life they have no power to touch. They said I'd never amount to anything without them. Turns out the only thing I couldn't do without them was be happy. Now I'm both successful and at peace. Dylan's doing well, and that matters to me as a doctor who helped save a life and as a brother who loves his sibling. As their son, I'm still working on that part, probably always will be, but that's okay. Some relationships aren't meant to be repaired. Some bridges are supposed to stay burned. Sometimes the best revenge is just living well despite the people who try to keep you down. Thanks for following this journey, Reddit. Your support meant more than you know. Edit. A lot of messages asking about my relationship with Dylan long term. We're good. He's not responsible for our parents' choices, and I'm not responsible for fixing them. We're just two brothers figuring out how to be family without the toxic people who raised us. Edit 2. Final edit promise for everyone asking about medical ethics in family cases. Most hospitals now have strict policies about this. If you're ever in a similar situation, declare the relationship immediately and request supervision. Protect yourself and your patients.